Welcome to the Public Safety Committee meeting. Today is January 21st, 2020. We have Councilor Rothschild, Councilor Derby, and myself, and Councilor Connor, the president of the council, and Annette here. Approval of the minutes. I didn't receive any minutes from the last meeting, so let's skip that. Yeah, we don't have that. Public speak time is anyone from the public that want to say something. It's not at the agenda, part of the agenda.
Yeah, I'll just go through
Can
the
you
agenda.
please, you want to say something?
No.
No? At the agenda we have committee reorganization, but we already did that at the full city council meeting, so we don't have to do that. New businesses, we don't have any new businesses, so we go to, yes, continue businesses. We will start with, I'm going to read all businesses that we have, so that way the public will know, and the new council will know what we're talking about in the past. First, I want to say thanks to both, to let me be the chairman and give me the privilege to be the chairman in this committee. The request to review on-street parking in the tropical routes orders. We're still waiting for the city for the report of the parking in our city. I hope it's coming soon. I don't know how soon it's going to be, especially now we're talking about industry and how many parkings we're going to lose there. It's going to be interesting, and we'll see what's going to be the report at the end. We're still waiting for them, so that's why.
The parking inventory report?
Inventory, yeah. It's coming from the city.
Is part of that, the review of on-street parking, is part of that also engaging with some of these public lots to see if there's any deals that can be struck? Is that all part of that
Yes.
thing? That's all
Yes, it is part of it. I assist to a few of those meetings, and they're talking about adding parking in some areas, like right here, Winston Street, right? This is Winston Street, at the side of the pond. They talk about that, probably add some parking there. They talk about to a few businesses like the banks, and just kind of give us
like renting or
sharing. Yes, that are renting, sharing with them. But we're still waiting for the report. But the answer is yes. The conversation. Who
is putting that report together?
It's a committee. I don't remember the name of the committee now. Sorry about that.
That's all right. Okay.
But it's a committee.
Okay.
From the city. It's members of the city, people who is a few organizations, and it's the mayor from it. So it's going to be a huge report, including the buildings and all the stuff. But we're waiting for the part that is about parking.
Okay.
So we're still waiting for that. I'm gonna leave the pedestrian safety review for the last. But I'm gonna jump to the proposal or outdoors event policy. I'm still writing what the police give us, because what we have from Councilor Sarret is
very different.
It's very different, and it's super long. So that's why it's taking me so long to minimize some stuff that he had there.
And do we still have the one that
this is what the police give us,
right?
The police department.
So I like that one.
Yes, but if some languages here that's related, that's pretty good.
Okay.
To include it with this.
Yeah.
I'm still working on it.
Okay. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, it's not a big rush.
No, it is not a big rush, but I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna have it ready for the next meeting.
Okay.
It's almost done. I'm gonna bring it before bring it back to the meeting. We're probably gonna sit down with the police chief to review it again. because at the end is a proposal coming from them,
right,
from the police department, I will give you some updates what we're doing with this ordinance. This ordinance, proposed ordinance, is if we have any event, outdoor event that is with 150 people or more, request the president and serve alcohol.
150?
Yes, 150. Request the president of the police in case something happens.
Right,
Basically,
like the
that
safety plan.
safety plan and all that. Yeah, but basically, that's the main reason about this ordinance.
And is there currently an ordinance?
No, no, we don't have any. It's creating a new one.
So Councilor Barrett wrote up something?
Yes.
And
Yes, when Councilor Sarret presented to us, I went to the police, the police chief, to talk about it and find out what the purpose of the ordinance, and then we bring it here to the meeting and we start reading it, and we found a few things that Councilor Derby found about that is huge concerns. One of the concerns is in open areas, like public. We have a public area because this is just for public area.
So it doesn't apply to private.
Private, and Councilor Derby give us a really good sample. What happened if we have an event
And Nonotuck
and fields
next to the
next to Winston, and so we're gonna request something for these particular people, but not for the other particular people, and that's what we're still working on it, and with the new resolution. Yeah. So we're gonna keep working on it, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna have it. I'm gonna have it ready for the next meeting.
Sounds good to me. Bless you. Okay.
The quadricycle restriction proposal, ordinance is still working on it.
So
You
I'm
can
going to
give us an
talk to,
update because
I didn't have a chance to talk to Owen tonight, but I would like to, just because this is,
It's coming
it came from Owen.
Yeah.
And the one that Peg and I worked on, an ordinance, I'm thinking that we just put it aside. What I'm going to suggest in ordinance is that we take it off the agenda without prejudice. If we need to bring it back at some point,
the ordinance you guys.
the ordinance that we worked on, just because it's kind of a moot point at this juncture. And so if we took it off without prejudice, if we needed to bring it back, we'd have that ability.
Yep.
But at this point, I don't see us needing to.
Okay.
And I think if we do that, then maybe we could do the same thing here. So we
Okay.
could remove it without prejudice. If we needed to bring it back, we bring it back. And so that's what I'm going to suggest. So I just need to. I want to check in with him, to see if he's okay with that. But I mean, at the end of the day, basically what it means is, at any moment we could bring it back and we could look at it if we felt it was relevant. But at this point, I don't see the reason to fill up our ordinances with something that is
Was this brought up specific to the?
Yes.
or to the pedal tap.
Pedal tap.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have
So I'll keep you guys
Either wait
updated.
or-
I think we can wait on it.
Okay,
I just
we can wait. It's not
I'd
bad.
prefer to talk to him about it before I
Yeah.
don't necessarily like releasing other councilors' things without
That's
talking.
good. Thank you for the update.
Yeah. But I would say, if we're looking at, have we gotten to the Main Street, South Street?
I'm pulling down now.
Have we heard from the mayor yet about the report
I
that?
didn't have that report.
And I believe that she did receive something that basically was like traffic light.
That's what she said at the
So
beginning.
so maybe what we should do is send her an email and ask her for that information, because I think it would be relevant to what we're
Okay.
doing. I think it would be really helpful as we re-examine that.
Yeah.
So that way we can kind of, using that information, we can talk to DPW and see what, and I'm sure she's working on it too. It doesn't hurt
What
to have
about-
another set of eyes on it.
Yes, and talking about Main and South, is at the end the report said the solution is having a traffic light there. Now my question is to the committee is how far we can go, because we cannot pay the money
Right,
to
cannot.
do it. So is our job done with it? Because the solution is that, having a traffic light. So what we should do after?
Well, I think what we can do is we can.
I mean, of course, we can go to the DPW, try to write a
What we
letter
can do
to.
is we can see if we can pull together any other information that's relevant, and then we can write a recommendation
letter to
all the
DPW.
relevant parties. And, I mean, you're right, it doesn't, we can't appropriate any money, so, but we can exert pressure.
Okay, good, definitely. And that's my
Yep.
my plan as a committee, to send a recommendation letter to the mayor, DPW, and the finances we have to.
Sure.
So,
That's good, that's great.
we're requesting what the city really need for safety.
Sure.
The next one in our agenda is resident speeding concerns.
Yes.
I know we give you some homework
Yes,
to
and I
talk to
have it.
Northampton about it.
So Northampton, they basically said, speed humps vary in cost.
Yeah.
Some of that depends on whether or not the speed hump is being included as part of a larger project,
Yeah.
or if it's a standalone project.
Yeah,
So the cost can run anywhere from $2,000 to $6,000 per speed hump.
okay. And the question is, for them, it works?
And yeah, I mean they're aggressively putting them on city streets where they're having issues with speed. So I think that if they're going to spend $2,000 to $6,000 per home, they're finding it to be effective.
And adding to that conversation, we're still waiting for the response of DPW.
I spoke with him about speed bumps.
Yeah, but the committee sent a letter
Okay.
somewhere. We sent a letter to DPW August 8th.
I'm curious. I'm curious what you found in your conversation.
He was not a proponent of speed bumps. He did not see a future for
You
speed
talked
bumps.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Future speed bumps in the city. I don't remember the exact reasons, but some of that, he felt that people slow down, speed up, so they're going to speed up, and also snow removal.
But I have to, I'm sorry that I interrupted you, but at least he was admitting that they're slowed down.
Right.
Yeah, he did admit that they were slowing down, right?
He said it's like
Yeah.
he referenced the speed bumps as you approach Florence and the speed bumps approach Florence.
Yeah.
Because I was speaking to him during my campaign, sharing concerns of Clark, one of the speeding concerns is Clark Street as well as Glendale Street.
So that's historically, I feel like when we first brought this up, I said that, and I felt bad because I felt like people were like thinking that I didn't think that speed humps were effective or work, but I mean that's been his kind of stance on it since the beginning, historically, and I think when we tried to pull out like, hey, maybe we should take a look at these.
Yes, and that's why the last meeting we decided to contact the city if it was working or not. And if Northampton is installing more, the reason is because it's working. If they're not working, why are they going to install more?
And Northampton has the same level of snow as
But
us.
here, yes, yeah, I think so. I think
A
you're
very
right.
fun, good point.
Yes, I think you're right. But the point of Derby was saying, we invite Joe to this meeting before, and we know that he is not a huge fan of the speed bumps. But and again, and I said when he was here, it's not about how fan you are or not about the speed bumps.
It's like, do they work?
They do their work. And he can, he talked to you, and he can said, from speed home to another speed home, people will go again to speed, but at least he admit that you have to
slow down.
You have to slow down when you go to the speed home. I think we should wait until maybe next meeting to see if DPW will finally answer us.
Yeah, or maybe send a reminder. I mean, I know
If
that
not-
they had a board member resign recently, so I think.
Who did you send DPW?
Leonard and August.
Yeah, we sent a letter. I can send you a copy of it. Because these won't have a bunch of notes.
Is that was when kind of like the speeding concern on the Clark Street?
Yes, car, yeah. And one of the paragraphs said installation of speed humps on Clark Street. So we include that language in this
Yeah.
letter. So we're still waiting for a formal
Okay.
answer from them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will say, I just had my first open office hours at the library. I only had 2 concerns shared with me that evening. One was the speeding on Glendale. And the
Yeah.
resident on Glendale was asking me if we could have speed bumps, and we felt seriously.
In the prices you got, does that include those rubber kind that are, you can put them in and take them out?
No, that was specifically asphalt.
The permanent. The other thing that I had, I have a conversation with the mayor about the signs, the new signs. I don't want to be like, especially like, when you see them, they look like a kind of Christmas tree.
Yeah.
There's too many lights in
Yeah.
one portion of the
Yeah,
city instead of having those signs everywhere. I'm going to contact all the cities to see if they have something similar,
Yeah.
to see if it works
Yeah.
with those signs. I talked to the police chief about it.
Mm-hmm.
He liked the idea.
Okay.
He said there's some areas in the city works,
Mhm.
or the towns, having those
The speed
digital signs.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
they told you.
Especially the ones that flash red and blue when you're
Yeah,
speeding.
yes. It helps some areas. I don't want to install it everywhere,
Right,
but
but maybe some of the areas
some
that are-
areas that people really overspeed, and that I think that's a really good idea. And I, talk to the mayor, because at the end of the day, it's always money. And I just want to be sure that the mayor know that we're going to talk about it. And it's one of the options that probably we're going to send a recommendation letter.
I know the police just recently got a grant. I wonder if any money is allocated to things like that, because I think it's for traffic enforcement.
I will talk to them.
I think they were hopefully going to be doing something for crosswalk violations.
Yes. Well, we just passed.
Yes, we passed our
I know.
ordinance.
And
So-
they've been enforcing. I've seen them enforcing.
Well, they're not around me, that's for
Oh,
sure. You should see the little emails I've been sending every few days to the
Really?
people who blow through Clark Street crosswalk and the crosswalk in Glendale.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
They were parked down here across from Jones today.
Oh, they were. Okay, good.
I mean, yeah, I see.
I've noticed
I
that.
crossed the crosswalk and the police and everybody stopped.
No, that's Well, so that was one of the target areas, because that's notoriously on that corner is
But
notoriously
it's like,
bad.
they think there's nothing I can do about it. They're
So
not
we need
there
them
when
there
I'm
during the
there.
school day.
And it's gotten worse.
Huh.
I mean, I've just decided I'm not gonna let it bother me anymore. I'm just going to, if I can get a license plate
Oh, yeah.
number, it's going to the police.
Yeah.
And I've got one car that is just a chronic.
Really?
Yeah.
Run.
I almost got ran over after dropping my kid off at Center, and then right in school, the school street went right there, and she was on her phone.
I took a note too. I'm gonna talk to the police chief about
Now,
the
Holyoke
time.
Street is
So
actually
that
getting
way,
worse too. Once they pass me at the corner, if there's no cars in front of them, they're doing 50 by the time they get up to the 35-mile-an-hour sign. They are flying.
So it seems
What
like-
street is that?
See,
Oh, yeah.
And for me,
Yeah.
I feel like that
Coming off of Cottage?
Coming off of Cottage and going
that
up.
spot would be a prime speed hump.
Yeah.
Because especially coming into town.
Now, Ken, but because it's a state, is that the state highway?
I guess it depends on where the state highway
Yeah.
starts.
That's what I was going to ask, if that would be, if they would be.
We can lobby the state
Yeah.
to help us out.
But yeah, it's the speeding on Holyoke Street, well, Clark Street is just getting,
Yeah.
is horrendous.
It's all
too.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Is there someone we can invite to our committee meeting that has knowledge and expertise around speed bumps? Could we invite someone from Northampton to talk to us here?
I can ask my contact and see if there's anybody that would be appropriate for that. I don't know if there is. I believe, there's probably engineers from Mass Highway that have studied this
Yeah.
up and down. Maybe Pioneer Valley Planning Commission.
Yeah.
They do a lot of traffic stuff, so they might have somebody that is well versed.
Knowledgeable? Yeah, because it would be nice to have someone knowledgeable here, because I feel like we get one opinion from our DPW, and
Yeah.
it's like I'm Googling the idea. I feel like I'd rather have someone we're
Someone
doing a
that-
nuanced
yeah.
conversation about.
Makes sense. Yeah. It does make sense. Yeah.
Um,
Are we gonna do Division Street? 'Cause I feel like we have a lawyer potentially here.
Yes,
Sure.
okay, I'm gonna contact the chief about the lights and everything. I'm gonna try to find someone. We can both, you
Yeah.
try to find someone expert about tree bumps and so that we can bring a different opinion.
Sure.
If there is someone, we can say a letter with mutual letter with the
Yeah.
opinion of an expert.
I think we would ask for like that. I think some people from Clark and Glendale and other streets, we can focus on that.
Yeah.
All right, and I guess that's why you're here. And then because I've said Division Street extension a complete way, I have to be super honest with you. I didn't receive anything from
Okay,
anyone.
that's fine.
Yeah,
I
I'm
can
still-
tell
I'm
you
still
where,
waiting for them.
I
Well,
can
you
tell
can
you
tell
where we're
us.
at,
Yes,
if you
please.
wish to know. So,
Can you please say your name?
Sure.
Just for the record.
so I am attorney Amanda Downtown, and hi. So I received the comments from the city attorney. He approved the deed, so that is done. I sent him to just Mark Tanner, I sent the certificate of title that he asked for. I also revised the easement. He asked for some slight language to be added, which I did. He wanted me to do a separate release of easement because there's already an existing easement out there. I told him I'm happy to do it, but I asked him if possible, because it's more like a moving where the easement is, if we could leave it as one document because the Commonwealth has raised all the recording charges effective December 31st. He said he was going to look into it and get back to me, but either way, I said to him, I need to know who's going to release it. Is it going to be a vote of the city council signed by the mayor? So I am waiting to hear from him on that. But the deed itself is all set. I did go to the planning board last week, and they received the letter from the city engineer who said that everything was done the way that it was supposed to be. They took a vote that they were supposed to recommend to you acceptance provided we finalize the documents with the city attorney. So I think you're waiting for something in writing from Jeff Babb
Yes, yes,
in
we
regards
are.
to the planning board. And then I
And
just
from-
need approval from Attorney Tanner saying
Yes,
that.
and we're waiting for that too.
So, so if you could put me on your next agenda, I
Yes, I
will
will.
send emails to both of those people and ask them
Perfect.
if they can get something to you in time for this next meeting so that we can get it moved to the next step.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, it's gonna be part of the agenda for next meeting.
Okay, excellent. Do you have any questions for me?
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. Thank you. And the last thing that we have at the agenda is about the pedestrian safety review. We see working on that. I think we're doing good progress, including College Street is with those lights and the crosswalks are doing great. Union Street with the redoing all the Union Street, I think it's going to be great too. Besides that, I don't know.
I mean, I see this dovetailing in with the speeding
Yeah,
piece.
I-
Yeah, it's kind, yeah.
You know, so I think as we tackle the speeding piece, that
We'll
like
keep it together.
implicitly it helps pedestrians.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And you know, as we identify, I think one of the things that for the pedestrian safety, besides helping a net, getting those kids across the street.
Yeah.
You know, I think it might make sense as the spring rolls around for us to see areas, and the DPW probably already does this, but you know, maybe having just another set of eyes out there can help. Looking at crosswalks that need repainted,
Yeah.
and just saying,
Do an
as
inventory.
part of our pedestrian safety review, we noticed that these well-used crosswalks need to be repainted, you know, and maybe a push from us can help those get redone. Other than that,
And sprint, as a committee, you want to do a site visit for the busiest streets that we have to see those.
I think it might make
crosswalks?
sense, and I also think, you know, as we, you know, I mean, we could multitask. As we do that, we could also look at some of the parking signs that are out, because I feel like, you know, like at this moment, some of the parking signs are just ridiculous.
Yes, I
I
have
don't even
a,
think they're enforced.
They're definitely not
Yeah,
enforced,
yeah.
and it's like
And-
Sundays and holidays, like whose holiday?
Yeah.
yes, and that's why, because of, Because when we get the report about the parking, I wanna do something with that too.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I took a bunch of pictures.
Yeah, I know.
I took a bunch of pictures of the different signs, including Union Street.
1
They have
hour and
yes,
over
1 hour.
restaurant.
Yeah.
I mean, because, you know, one of my thoughts is like, we're not enforcing these things. Let's just
This is
take
what we
down
have.
the
Yeah, just take
This is
signs.
what we
down,
have.
Like, why do we have these ugly rusted signs up?
Yeah,
Let's just
yeah.
take them down.
Yeah.
And then, like, when we fix it, then we put up new signs that are all uniform and, like, make sense. You know, and so maybe, like, that could be one of our goals for the spring, is to say, let's get these signs out of here. Let's figure out what crosswalks need to be painted, and then go from there.
This was brought up at the, whatever, the Union Street meeting. Marcia Morrison brought it up that there's no signs anywhere on Cottage Street that say Cottage Street. I mean, there's nothing where I'm
There's no
standing.
street signs whatsoever?
No,
Wow.
no Cottage Street
That is
side.
interesting.
And it's, yes, it can be a safety issue, because I got people stopping in front of me.
Trying to figure out-
Where's Cottage
I think
Street?
the only sign I've seen is that one that says historical designation.
Cultural, yeah.
That's it.
Cultural,
But it doesn't
Yeah.
say have a street sign.
No,
Yeah.
right, yeah, there's
That's
no.
the only thing.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a safety issue. I mean, I think it is when
It's a
people slam on their
wayfinding,
brakes.
it's a wayfinding issue.
Yeah.
Wayfinding issue. Yeah, I
But
think,
yeah.
well, I mean, that's important.
You know, because I think
We
when
can-
Union Street is done, they're gonna put a sign
Yeah.
over here that says Cottage Street, but I have nothing at
That's a,
mine.
I think that's a good point. And you know what it did? It just reminded me that as far as, if we're looking at pedestrian safety, I feel like we have a glaring piece on Cottage Street that is missing, which is a crosswalk that goes from the promenade to Riverside. It's like this weird
Yeah.
three-legged crosswalk, and for some reason they never circled the square.
They talked about
Right.
that.
That's gonna be done in the
They're
Union Street.
addressing
It
that in
is.
the
It
Union
is,
Street,
yeah.
Okay, 'cause
That's
really-
gonna be, yeah.
That's
And there's gonna be new street lights and everything, so, but yeah, there's gonna be a new crosswalk.
Can we take these streetlights, put them on South Street?
Yeah. Ooh, what an
Like,
idea.
reuse, recycle,
Yeah.
come on, like,
Why not?
that's, all right, let's work on that.
Work on that, there you go.
We're doing.
Because they're gonna be
Because they're
redoing
gonna
all,
redo
yes.
all- yeah, they're
All the way
gonna
down
redo
to
all
the,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, they're
It's on top,
redoing,
yeah.
these are gonna be new lights.
Because they're gonna do a crosswalk.
Yeah,
and,
from Riverside
from
across,
Riverside to-
yeah.
I was bummed I missed that. I had it in my calendar for next Monday. And I was like, wait, why would they have this on Martin Luther King
So I
Day?
did bring up at that meeting also, and I consider it a safety issue, the hurry and scurry building.
Oh,
Oh,
God, yeah.
yeah, interesting.
And of course, the mayor had to come up and say this is, privately owned.
Yeah, it
And
is.
it is.
Yeah.
But it's like, that building
Can
is.
we-
It's condemned.
I don't know if that's
It's condemned, but-
It's way down at the end of Union, right?
Yeah,
It's not part of that agenda.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, they're paying their taxes.
they're paying their taxes.
Okay. We'll talk about it.
But we can put it on.
Put it on the agenda.
Okay.
You know,
Well, just like, if we could put on the future agenda, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else. Something else that our next meeting is going to be February. I don't know how to say that.
February 4th?
It's Cuatro de
It is for
Febrero.
me. En Cuatro de Febrero.
Yeah.
You see that easy?
2020.
I'm gonna take you guys to Spain.
You want to do a 6:30?
So I'm, ordinance is not meeting that night, so I can
You
meet.
can do a 6.
Six.
6 fine?
6 is
Yeah.
That's six.
Yeah. We'll take the motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I second.
Yeah.
Those in favor?
Aye.